Welcome to Cast of Creators. We're your hosts. I'm Nelson Thal.
And I'm Casie Stewart. We've spent our careers in media and publishing, and now we're setting the stage for creative people who inspire us to share their stories.
Our guest this episode is Lauren O'Neill. Lauren is a news personality, internet OG, and the editor of Blog.to.
Lauren and I met on the internet a decade ago through our blogs. And in this episode, we talk about her work, her wedding, and of course, Drake. Also, Nelson is meeting her for the very first time.
Let's get into it. Well,
I love it.
Lauren, welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you here.
Are you recording now?
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
recording.
I don't care. I love it. I just had to finish that little thought there.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's exciting because Casey's been talking a lot about your wedding that's coming up.
Yes. It's only like, 4 or 5 months away. I'm getting married on September the 10th. And today is June the 2nd. So
yeah.
I don't know. Whatever the math on that is, that's how far away it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Casey's my maid of honor.
I am. I've never been a maid of honor
I was
before.
going to ask, this is your first?
Yeah, first time. I've never even been in a wedding.
And this is my first time being a bride, too.
Yeah.
I've never been in a wedding either, ever. I think people don't ask people like me and Casie because we're too pretty, and it will take focus from them. But I'm confident enough that I'm okay with my pretty best friend being my maid of honor.
Thanks. Love you.
Now that everyone hates me, I'm just joking.
How long have you known your husband to be?
Brock, I have known for 12 years almost. Yeah, we met at a TIFF party all the way back in 2010. And actually, Casie introduced us.
I
Really?
did.
Yes,
Yeah.
And we were friends from that point on. I had a partner at the time, a boyfriend, and he's had many various floozies on and off over the years, and I've always had long-term boyfriends, and eventually just kind of worked out. The timing didn't work out great. He kind of stole me away from my last boyfriend, and just in case you don't already hate me. And yeah, so we've been together now for about 3.5 years, and we got engaged last September on the very date that we met. So September 10th is when
that's
we met.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he engaged, I would say engaged me. He proposed to me on September 10th, and we're getting married on September 10th. So
Yeah.
That's exciting. So it was basically a year later proposal, and then you went through COVID together.
Yes.
So you made it through that.
Yeah.
Which, if you can make it through that, it's big check.
oh yeah, if anything, COVID brought us closer together. It was kind of nice to have an excuse not to go anywhere and just be like, I'm just gonna stay home and watch TV with my boyfriend all the time.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I love that too. I feel like I stay home so much more. I really enjoy staying home now. It's just
I know. It was so nice not to have the pressure of feeling like you have to go out all the time.
especially because we used to go out all the time. We would be
You'd never be in.
No, and we had not the last couple of years before COVID, but throw it back a few 5 years, we would be out at events 3 or 4 nights a week. Sometimes go to one event, have some snacks, have some drinks, go to the next event, go to the next event, go to the next event. You know that club, party, next club, that audio of Kourtney Kardashian, that was us.
It really, there were times during busy festivals and stuff too, like TIFF or whatever, where we'd be every single day. But even before the pandy, I mean, there were times where you'd be I've been going 5 days straight. I need to stop. I need to sleep, but I can't. Sometimes just the nature of our work. But I'm really happy to have a chance to slow down. And I spend a lot of time at the park now, just chilling.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yes,
Because you have a dog
I
now.
do. I do. His name is Cowboy.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we adopted a rescue dog from Texas named Cowboy. And we called him Cowboy because he's from Texas, and also he is cow printed. He's black and white with little cow spots.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, he's really cute.
Yeah, he's fun. He loves Casie.
Yeah.
He's a good boy. He's about 2 years old. He's really excited and hyper, but he only has 2 modes, 0 or 100. So he'll be dead sleeping on the couch, which is adorable, or he'll be I want to eat all the things. I want to touch all the people.
How big a dog?
He's mid-size. He's
He's got a lot of energy then.
He does. We don't know
Gotta figure it
exactly
out.
what his breed is, but he's definitely part Staffordshire or Pit Bull Terrier, one of the bully breeds, and then we think we need Boston Terrier. So
Yeah.
he's like a tiny, compact pit bull that jumps all the time. So
Yeah.
he's he's girthy. He's a thick boy, a little buff boy we call him. He can really, he's got some muscle.
Yeah, he's cute.
But he's not too
I
big.
love
oh my God,
him.
yeah.
Are you a dog person?
No,
Casie?
I'm not an animal. We have talked about this. I don't really generally like when it's not that I don't like animals. Everyone, I just don't particularly like when they touch me. I get like scared and like nervous.
Especially horses. Casey's afraid of horses. Sorry to out you on the podcast, but it's never been.
I am so afraid of horses. I've never ridden a horse. I've never gone horseback riding. I don't want to.
Oh, you're not even afraid from a bad experience.
I just don't like them. Their
You don't
mouths
like
are
them
so big.
I don't like being near their mouths. One time a horse sneezed on me, and it was really gross. So yeah,
That'll turn you off.
yeah. But their mouths are really soft on the sides.
Yes.
I've never touched one, and I don't want to.
Well, there's ponies near my cottage that Talia loves to feed.
Yeah.
And they actually, we used to be able to feed them carrots. But then one day they put up a sign that the ponies were put on a diet. And they had diabetes, the ponies. Because I guess everybody was, carrots have a lot of sugar.
They do, yeah.
So we can't feed them carrots. We go with celery now.
Oh, yeah, that's way more low-cal and better for
At
diabetes.
least they can still eat that, right?
Yes, and the funny thing was over the course of a year, these ponies really trimmed down.
Oh.
Yeah, and before you were dealing with this barrel walking towards you, okay?
That's every pony I've known. It's been around.
And they're not anymore. They're very trim, and they're in the best shape I've ever seen them in.
Goes to show.
Yeah, the slim pony diet. Celery.
Yeah, exactly.
Slim pony.
Who knew that would work?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, I'm not walking up to them with grilled cheeses and grab dinner.
I'm sure they'd eat it, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, my dog would eat literally anything. He's eaten like nuggets out of the cat's litter box. Sorry, that's gross. You can censor that if you want.
You have a cat too?
I do. I have a cat. Greta.
Yes.
She's
How did the
the
nuggets
love
get
of
in
my
there?
life.
Oh,
like she made
not
them.
chicken nuggets.
No, she made them with her body, little brown nuggets. Like, yeah. Yeah. He ate them one time. We were like, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it's nice that the cats have their litter box, though. I wonder why, it'd be nice to get a dog doing that. But
yeah, some people have like pee pads or like grass
I've
pads
seen
in
the
their
pee
house.
pads.
But yeah, we didn't want to mess with that. He just goes outside. We just put him in the backyard and he pees and comes back in.
So we talked about this on a prior episode, but I've noticed that society has been fairly lax about allowing people's animals to go to the bathroom anywhere these days. Like, I've been walking behind somebody on the sidewalk, and it just goes right to the bathroom right in front of me. No attempt to move off the side. What do you make of this?
I mean, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Oh.
But I think it is on the owners. It's there are some cardinal rules, and I'm learning. I'm a new dog owner. We got Cowboy in like February, and I've never had a dog before that. But like, there are things you don't do. One is you never leave dog poop like anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I'm glad to hear that you feel this way.
oh my God, everyone should feel this way. And there are so many people who don't, and they leave dog poop around. Like, it's disgusting. And it gives all dogs a bad name, or dog owners.
Yeah.
The sidewalk pooping thing, like, I get sometimes if your dog just stops and starts to poop, like, how are you going to, like, you don't want to pick him up mid-stool and, like, get messy. But as long as you, like, clean it up right away. The other thing that I think a lot of people do that's not cool is like letting dogs go to the bathroom on people's lawns. So people put up signs a lot because like my dad is really precious about his lawn. He always has been. And when our neighbor's dog would come and pee on it, it would make yellow spots on the grass.
Right.
So like you're not just like being rude, you're like hurting the grass.
Right. Well, you end up with
and
yellow
your dad's
patches.
hard work.
Yes, exactly. So, I do think that people are a little too liberal in where they let their dogs go to the bathroom, but especially liberal in not picking up after themselves because that's gross. We don't want pooling around. And sometimes I don't know, like often walking around the city, especially downtown, like, is that dog? Sometimes, honestly though,
Sad
I'm like,
but true. You're right.
oh, that's really big.
That was either a big dog or a large man.
It's like a Burmese mountain dog or like a guy after going to Burger King.
Did you grow up in Toronto?
No, I did not. I was born in Chatham, Ontario.
Oh, I know Chatham.
You do? What do you know about Chatham?
Well, my mother's from Welland,
Oh, cool.
and one of my cousins lives in Chatham. Oh. I've never been, but I know it from, family.
Yeah, you're not missing much. A lot of corn, a lot of cornfields. It's kind of I think it's like 35,000 people or something.
And you went all through high school there?
Yeah, all through high school. So, I mean, I left right after high school and went to university. I went to Windsor, not very far at all from Chatham, so I could still drive home on weekends for my mom to do my laundry and give me food and stuff. And then I went to Sweden for a year, and that was like on exchange. And then when I came back, I finished at Windsor and then went to London. And every time I say that, I'm like, Sweden, then London. People are like, oh, really? I'm like, no, not that London.
Yeah, like London,
I went to London, Ontario. Yeah. I went to Western, okay? And then I came here. So, yeah, right after I graduated in like 2010 and then moved here right away.
Were you interested in writing and journalism in high school?
No, I mean, yeah, I guess. Those were my best marks. I never really thought about like kind of what I wanted to be. I just wanted to like make stuff, I guess. Like I love creating stuff and drawings. Like I made lots of videos with my friends and I wrote a lot. One of my high school teachers at one point said that I should consider a career as a journalist because I have a very journalistic voice. And then another one, too, in a different year said something similar. So when it came time to, like, pick what I was going to go to school for, I was like, communications. So my undergrad is communications with the minor in computer science. And then after that, I'm like, what the frick am I going to do with this? So I'm talking to my parents, and I'm like, what if I go to get a master's degree? And they're like, oh, yes, we can brag to our friends about that. Right. I have a master. So then I just got a master's in journalism because literally thinking back to what these teachers said, Mrs. Rosetto, shout out. I don't even know if she's listens to podcasts. I'm going to say still alive. But I'm sure she is. She's not that old, I don't think. Anyways, so, sorry about that. She won't listen. But shout out to her because she literally like put the seed in my brain that like journalism is a thing I could do. I wanted to be a doctor in high school. Then I saw too much.
Yeah.
Like I did co-op at the hospital, the ER where my mom works.
Oh yeah, that'll turn you off.
Yeah, like people's bones. Like,
oh, yeah.
I could not do that.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't want to be a doctor now. But I mean, I still love medicine.
ER is pretty gruesome. Like being...
Like some crazy stuff, man. Like people came in, I think I've told Casie this story before, where this couple came in, they were on a motorcycle together, and they both lost their legs from like the knee down, and they had to figure out which leg belonged to which, of the four legs, who belonged to what, so they could attempt to reattach them. Like, that's weird. That's a weird day at work.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, sorry to bring it down.
Oh, no problem. Well, look, I would never drive a motorcycle on a highway, let alone anything personally.
Yeah,
but,
so
I think of that.
Yeah, losing your legs.
Yeah,
no, I like my legs.
Or just
Lieutenant Dan. You need Lieutenant Dan.
I'll be blaming.
You need legs.
Yeah,
and like seeing what's inside of your legs is not cool. Like the yellow, fat's like really yellow.
My God.
I didn't know that.
We had a cottage accident. Someone on a boat, or a piece of my friend Mandy. She's totally fine now, but something cut her arm open right here, and flesh is so disgusting. I still get it. The visions will never leave my brain. They're imprinted there. I just think of that, what it looks like, and it is not something I could see.
Did you see the yellow?
Yeah.
And the white? Like, oh my God. Yeah.
Nelson's like, this is disgusting.
What? I'm much more comfortable with like plastic surgery stuff than I am injured.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like surgery. I watch a lot of surgery videos online. Sinus surgery. I watch just weird like endoscopic surgeries, ear surgeries and stuff like that. But yeah. See, I don't want to see the cavity cut open or the skin cut. Like, I don't want to see the bone and the fat. That creeps me out. But yeah. Anyways, do you have any pets? Segue.
The only pets I've ever had have been pets that are in aquariums or containers.
Oh, I have
like
one of those too.
Snakes. I've had snakes.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
A chameleon.
I've
had turtles.
Cute.
Had like frogs.
Oh,
a lot of stuff.
Reptile
fish,
guy.
Lots of fish. More just stuff that can be contained.
Yeah. So I have a gecko, a crested gecko right now called Drizzy. He also lives in like a terrarium. So I feel you.
What do you feed him?
I feed him a pre-blended diet called Rapashi. It's like,
Oh, you don't put the crickets in?
no, he's the only vegan gecko I've ever known. Like I've had ones before that do eat crickets, and they should eat crickets. It's good for them. So I feed him like literally like bug replacement powder because he will not eat the crickets, which is great because I don't want them in my house.
Yeah, I understand.
You remember like keeping
Oh, yeah.
them?
I didn't like keeping the crickets. I didn't like defrosting the mice.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never had to deal with mice. That's crazy. So you didn't feed them live mice and stuff?
Well, the odd time I did, but the reason why you don't want to is the odd chance that the mouse scratches its eye. It's not worth feeding it live stuff.
Like scratches its own eye? I guess
Scratches
not.
the snake's
okay,
eye.
yeah, because he's going to die anyways. Oh, poor baby. Oh, yeah, okay,
Well,
I get it.
it's a bit of a circle of life thing. And the turtles, though, you feed live feeder fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just put goldfish in. You think, how are these turtles going to catch these fish? And then all of a sudden, you come back the next morning, and there's like, there's 5 less fish.
Oh, slow
Wow.
and steady.
They're
wins
busy.
the race.
It reminds me when I was a kid. I have never
Yeah,
really
exactly.
had a lot of fish, but we had a fish tank at one point, and I've never had fish since. But my sister is younger than me, and we had the fish tank kind of in like this back part of the kitchen, and my sister thought that the fish were cold because it was winter outside, so she turned up the heat. And then we all went to bed, and then we woke up the next morning, and all the fish were floating because they died.
They cooked?
She cooked them.
Oh my gosh.
Jenny!
It's a little fillet of fish for breakfast there?
Yeah, so we never had fish again, and that was the end of that.
Aw.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jenny.
Oh man.
Fish murderer. Just joking. I'm joking.
Oh man.
We've all done stuff like that.
I was telling Nelson, but I didn't actually mention to him how you've done some funny things over your career. You've had a couple viral moments in your career. One that stands out to me was the season of draking. And I was wondering if
That's as far as she got with the story.
and I was like,
so-
I'm not going to tell you what this is, but maybe you could explain to Nelson and everyone listening in case they didn't witness it in real time while it was happening. It was it was a thing. It was like a meme. It's
It's got a know your meme entry. I'm very proud to say. That was a time. Thank you for the question about that. It was back in like 2013, 14, 12. Back in the day, pre-pandemic, it all blends together. It started because I was walking along Carlton Street, and someone had put little stickers of Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on the street signs. And I was like, that is genius. I love that. It's so funny. So I kept looking everywhere. I'm like, I need to do something like this. And then I was waiting for a subway. And then I saw the little wheelchair signs, accessibility signs on this subway. And I was like, Drake from Degrassi.
Yeah.
Do you know on Degrassi?
Oh,
they
yeah.
Wheelchair Jimmy. Jimmy Brooks.
Absolutely.
And Wheelchair Jimmy is a popular meme. And so it was like done. So my boyfriend and I at the time printed out a bunch of stickers, and we just kind of went around and put Drake's face on top of all of these accessibility stickers, which in retrospect was not.
That would go well.
In
terms
went
of popularity.
Oh yeah,
that was
virality. It
interesting.
did great. Didn't age so well. I mean, there are times where people
for some people.
yeah, but you know what really saved like my butt in a sense was like the Toronto Star did a story, and they talked to the leader of a disability rights organization locally, and she was like, you know what, I love it. I think it's great. It's bringing awareness to the fact that there are not enough accessible spaces in Toronto, and and that's true. The
Perfect.
TTC does have a lot of accessibility issues. They're working on it. Oh my god, now I feel like I'm on a work podcast. I'm like, so by 2025 they plan to have all of the stations as wheelchair accessible.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Well, they should be.
They should be, of course. Basically it went kind of I think at first went on Reddit. And then someone from BuzzFeed reached out, and I was talking to her because I had known her just like previously, and I didn't really know it was like for a story or whatever. And then this story goes on BuzzFeed, like Toronto journalists putting Drake faces on wheelchair stickers. I'm like, oh. And then from BuzzFeed, it got picked up by like everyone, like Entertainment Weekly, Time Magazine, Mashable, like blah, blah, blah. And then the greatest part was when TMZ asked Drake about it. So like on camera, they're like, Drake, have you
He
seen?
must have known about it.
Yeah, he didn't even say anything really. They're like, Drake, what do you think of the wheelchair stickers in Toronto? And he was like, yeah, they're great, and got into his car. And I was like, Senpai noticed me. But, that's cool. But yeah, I mean, it got me into a little bit of trouble at my work at the time. I was at CBC, and I actually,
that probably
they weren't, because it was starting to go everywhere. They're like, some people were like, CBC News journalist, blah, blah, blah. I'm like 27 years old, like,
You're just living. I'm just living life.
Living life. It was an art project. It wasn't like, and the worst part was, so I had actually had to sign a contract. I think I could say now, this is many years ago, at work, saying that I would not write about Drake at all because I was publicly a fan of Drake's and I could not be impartial. Which is the most ridiculous contract I've ever signed. Laura O'Neill will not write about Drake. And then like 2 days after that, I'm walking down like on my way to work on John Street. And freaking Joe Jonas is there with some people from Much Music. And there's a picture of a Drake face that we had put outside the Tim Hortons on the corner of like King and John.
Yep.
And he's going like this and posing with it. I have Drake stickers in my bag. And I still want to be like, Joe Jonas, I did that. Yeah. That's me. I did that. But I didn't. I couldn't say anything.
Couldn't.
I mean, I probably could have just like ran up and be like, here's a sticker. But like, why would I do that if I couldn't even take a selfie with him?
Yeah, what's the point if you can't get photo evidence?
But I was also just really nervous because he's really cute. But I love my boyfriend more.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that was one of the little weird internet things. It's crazy. Like Andy Warhol said, everyone's going to have their 15 minutes, but now it's more like 15 seconds. You always say that.
Yeah. Everyone gets their 15 seconds now.
Everyone.
Yeah.
So, they picked an interesting thing to try and weed out bias on that Drake thing.
It's just because it was so public, I think, and because they were getting inquiries from other media outlets like, well, do you support this action that your employee is doing? And it's like, so I just to put it on paper that I had to not cover Drake news, which is ironic because now at Blog.to, like I am like
the resident Drake
I'm like
person.
The Drake correspondent. So I write about him like every single week, sometimes multiple times a day. So
He also, I was at your house and you got his new Drake expensive candles that are at Shoppers Drug Mart.
Yeah.
Got a Drake candle.
Yeah, they sent it to me.
Yeah.
They're really good, actually.
I bet.
Yeah, so I would like, honestly,
it's like a bougie candle.
It's so bougie. It was Better World fragrance. I would never in my life spend like $78 on a candle. I'll just say that. But if I were to, these candles are really good. Like the one Sweeter Tings is the name of the flavor that I got sent, and they wrote on my name like to Lauren, Sweeter Tings. And did I say that? But it smelled so good and it lasted so long. Like we still got it, and it fills up the whole house with a good scent. Then we had another one that I was sent like before when the line first launched. It was like Williamsburg Sleepover. That one wasn't as good, but it's cheaper than Sweeter Tings. Sweeter Tings is the most expensive.
Oh, they all have different price points?
Yeah, Carby Musk is the one that is said to smell like Drake himself. That's the most expensive.
I bet Drake smells good.
Yeah, probably.
I bet he smells
probably.
good. He probably smells
Obviously,
good.
yeah. He's like so rich. I don't care what he smells like. JK.
Oh my God, so funny.
Yeah.
So you first got into writing and journalism and then became an editor? Like, walk me through the...
Yeah, that's typically how it goes. I really never wanted to be an editor. I don't like management. I don't like managing people. I just want to do my own thing, which is kind of what I still do. I'm not really like a hands-on like micromanager. So yeah, I started writing predominantly, doing some television, some radio, writing about internet culture a lot, started covering tech a lot, some entertainment stuff, fashion. And then, over the years when I went to Blog.to, I was a writer there. And then it just kind of got to a point where like new writers were coming on and I had to teach them how to be like me. Right. And so I like to think of myself more as like a leader than a manager. I'm like, I like more like I like to think of myself as like a director. Maybe I should ask my boss to change my title because I'm an editor, but I'm not really like editing. Like I do some copy editing, but mostly it's just like write this, do it in the way that I would do it, and they do it, and they're great. My writers are great. I don't think like writers need to be overmanaged either. Like I hate. I've had a lot of editors in the past. They've been like, It's like, okay, well, why don't you just write it then? Oh no, you can't. Okay, bye. Like I'm a writer first. I'm not one of those. But it's also like, it's cool to be in a more of a leadership position as well.
And do they type up these stories in like a Google Doc? I mean, what?
It depends on their own. It depends on their own process. I type them up in our CMS, which is a dangerous game to play.
Yeah, you're living on the edge,
I
girl.
know.
Yeah.
There have been times still, like even a couple weeks ago, the internet went out at our office briefly, and I lost like 2 hours of work, and I was like, why? Every single time I tell myself I'm not going to do this, but it's just because I can put all the hyperlinks and embed the images as I'm writing.
Yeah.
I know some of them work in Google Docs because it auto saves or in like a Word document, but I like to live on the edge.
I write my blog like that too. I'm like, and sometimes like you refresh and then you realize it didn't save, and you're like, fuck!
It's the worst.
You write it right in WordPress?
Yeah, I write straight in WordPress. I always have.
I like doing that too with our
I'm
sites.
badass.
Yeah.
WordPress.
Like, something I like doing, write preview, and I look at the write preview.
Yeah.
write preview.
Yeah, you
I
can't do
love
that in a Word document.
No,
Like,
it's tough to do
It's
that
not
in Google
this.
Docs.
I find also when I'm doing it that way, I'm like, I like to add the pictures and the links, and it's like
Yeah.
part of the process of like creating the content. And it's like, if I do it in a Google Doc, I don't feel as inspired. I'm like,
Yeah, and to
Not
put
as
embeds,
fun.
like embedding, like like social media things and embedding photos and stuff. Like I think it's like more the storytelling process. It's like blah blah blah, and then show the picture then, and then keep going. And you see it.
Yeah.
That's how you create the post. Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that I have to see the preview and get that type of perspective on the content I'm creating in order for me to create the right, page.
Yeah. You need
I can't
to
do
see
it in some other doc.
Yeah, you need to see it like in real time what you're working on to shape the work you're doing. Yeah.
I feel that. Big
Why
time.
I read back sentences, like every single sentence I write, every paragraph. It takes me a while to write stories sometimes because I'm like so weird about the writing, and I'm like, this doesn't flow exactly perfectly. And I'm like on thesaurus.com looking up other words. I'm like, I need a 2-syllable word for that. It's like not da 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 da, but da 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 da. Like
Yeah. You definitely have a good I notice sometimes I'll read I'll be looking at something in Hover and I'll see something from Blog.to and I'll read it, and then I will read the article and I'll be like, this has the cadence of Lauren, and then I won't know, and then I'll go back and I'll be like, obviously she wrote this. It was like,
Casey knows.
Thank you.
all the time, and like we have a group chat, and I was like, oh Lauren, this is a good one, buddy. Just the headlines and like the way that you kind of sometimes, I can't think of a specific example, but when you like throw digs or like, like a sneaky jab at someone in like a diss, but it doesn't seem like it, but like, and
But you guys know.
it's funny. It's just, you're good. I enjoy your content. I mean, I always have since we first met.
Yeah, and likewise, we became friends on the internet first with our blogs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We were blog friends
Sort of like
before.
pen pals.
Yeah.
Well, we were blog friends.
Yeah, we were
friends.
like contemporaries in the blogiverse, and we both admired and appreciated each other's stuff. And then,
And she was blonde and like cool and had good style, and like I thought, oh my god, she's so cool, and like we liked each other, and we were like internet friends. And then she finished school and was moving to Toronto and was doing some freelance work for Much Music, and I worked there, and we first met in real life outside Much Music. We hugged and we were like, oh my god, love you.
and then we just became like besties, and we started going to all the same events and everything. And then now like 12
years later.
And I just remember the first time I met Casie, I was like, she is so cool. I was so nervous because I'm like, she's cool. Like she's like this like cool older chick. Like not older.
No,
but,
I am older than Lauren, though.
I was like 24 at the time.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
like actually like established. Like I was like, she's so cool. And then you have this
24 and a half.
you have this cool like Casey was like 3 months older than that, but she was like more
a couple
established.
years, but
she'd
not
been
a lot.
living in Toronto for like a while. She's like, working out. She works so much music. She's so cool. And then she had this little heart shaved in the side of her head. She had a pixie cut at the time,
kind of like Drake. I had a
like
pixie
Drake,
cut, but I
She
had a
started
heart
that.
shaved in the back of in my head, because like I had always had like a little bit of hair. Sometimes I had a mohawk and I had like shaved head. Yeah,
It was like the dopest thing. You started that trend. I didn't even think about that until just now. You started the hard hair.
Yeah, and then
Did you hear that, Drake?
He copied me. He got that style from me. He
Drake.
must just scrolled my Instagram.
We're calling you out. Lead story on Blog.to tomorrow morning. Drake stole haircut idea from Toronto blogger.
I'd love to see if he would comment. He'd be like, he's like, Lauren, can you stop writing about me?
I don't even know if he knows who I am. I would
I'm sure
hope
he
he
does.
does. Oh my God, could you? Oh, don't even. I'm like getting excited just thinking about it.
Well, it's like he follows Morgan's old Toronto.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
he knows. So like, he might know you.
like that psycho girl that just writes about me all the time. Like, thanks for all of the clicks, Drake.
Yeah.
My career is like kind of isn't in parallel with his.
Yeah. Elevated.
Yeah.
The Drake effect.
Drake, yeah, I'm proud of him. He's doing great.
Yeah. He's doing
It's all
great.
because of me that he's doing great, and my writings about his various. No,
I love it.
yeah, he's good.
He's good.
I love him.
So do you have any official maid of honor duties?
We have Lauren got her dress, and I went with her to pick up the dress, and we did the final try on, and
Where'd you end up getting it from?
from the Brides Project, and the dresses are donated by designers, and then the money goes to support cancer research.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like,
So, and we went there twice. We did a couple, tried on a bunch of dresses, tried a bunch of Vera Wang dresses, and then we found the exact one for her, and it's at home in her closet, and Brock has not seen it, and he will not see it till the wedding day.
yeah, he won't see it. He refuses. I'm like,
Yeah.
can you just? Even when I was looking at dresses, like, what do you think of this style? He's like, stop showing me dresses. I want to be surprised. I'm like, okay, cool. Even though I know exactly what his suit looks like, he's getting like some custom suits made. But yeah, that was really, really fun. Casie and I went for like, so the idea was like, I didn't necessarily want this one dress, the one that I ended up getting, but the lady had shown it to me after I'd tried on all these other dresses, these Vera Wang dresses, after the first visit, and I put it on, and we're all like, wow,
That dress is so good.
yeah, it looks so good. And it's not my typical style, but I was like, all right, it's a lot like, it's very like over the top. But I'm going to have a second dress, I've decided. So I'm going to have that one for like the main ceremony and reception. And then the dancing part after, I'm going to have something a little more sleek and chic for the dancing part, as opposed to like the, like, ba bang. Like the lady at the store said, she's like, that's a showstopper. Like,
Yeah.
it's very bridal. But I love it.
Right.
But I mean, as for other duties, do I have some? Should we have a meeting?
No,
Because we have like the girls group chat, and we're all wearing bridesmaid dresses that are in a color palette, and that we don't have to be matching. It's like very cool and casual.
What's the palette?
It's like pink and burgundy.
Pink, burgundy, could be like champagne, goldy.
Rose gold type stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm really not picky about this. Like, I don't want to be a bridezilla. And like, the only thing I'm picky and weird about is my own hair, makeup, and dress. And like everything else, like, I don't care. But no, but Casey's been great. Like, I mean, just been there with me for all of this stuff so far. We have a wedding planner. Thank the Lord.
Yeah.
I would not be able to do all of this on my own. So just like, I think my bridesmaids, the biggest things I've asked them so far is just being like, guys, what do you think of this? What do you think of this dress? What do you think of that? And they're just like, yeah, you like it?
We kind of like just vote on things via chat
Yeah.
because like, we hadn't all been hanging out together. But I mean, it's going to be really great to actually have a whole get together with everyone that we haven't seen in so long. And
Your timing's good.
Yeah.
A year ago.
Yeah, seriously. We would have had to delay. I want to do like a bachelorette party on a boat, I've decided.
oh my God, I know someone with a yacht.
Perfect.
I already talked to Yacht Girl Summer.
Oh my God, is it Leo?
No, but it's someone. I already asked him, and he said, sure. And he will not charge us if we do it on a weeknight.
I'm down. I was just joking. I met Leonardo DiCaprio.
Bridesmaid.
Not like,
Yeah, bridesmaid duty.
yes,
Coming in hot with
maid
a
of
yacht.
honor. And
Yeah.
like we've planned out a bunch of other like just like at one point we had a few drinks and Casey's like, we're gonna do a song and dance. We're gonna do a dance together, a choreographed dance, and I'm all like, yeah, let's do it. All hyped up, and then the next day
next
Brock's
day we're
like,
no, you're not.
He's like, no, you're not doing that. Like,
You're 100% not
I'm like
doing
picturing
that.
like us as the Spice Girls at my wedding, like doing like stop right now. Like I don't know.
Casey tries to push that plan on more than just you.
I love it.
I love like theater and performing, okay? I love a great performance. I mean, I love karaoke. I'm not even that good at singing, but I'm a great performer.
You're a karaoke
True.
star.
If you move
are
that
so
mic
Oh,
farther
this is
away
better.
from you. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, but I mean, I love doing karaoke, but I mean, I'm not that great at singing, but I'm a great performer.
Exactly. You're a
Stage
star.
presence. I got it.
The last time we did karaoke, what was it? The new Gladstone Hotel opening.
Yes.
You brought the house down. You brought
really
the house
did.
down. So did I. But only us.
Came down
Nobody
twice.
else.
Yeah,
No,
well,
it came down.
Devo, who was on stage with us, was a guest on the podcast, and we mentioned that there. Lauren was also
Yeah.
on stage. It was a
was
hoot.
fun.
And Andrea Boley.
Yeah, it was a really
Yeah.
fun
True
night.
story.
Yeah, what song did you sing?
Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues.
You know that song well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
she brought it down. People were like,
because
loving
I
it.
can also do a really deep voice. You wouldn't expect that from me, but hey.
I like it.
Yes. Yeah, I'm just full of surprises.
Are you that guy who calls my phone late at night?
Hey, Lauren. It's me. Don't tell my husband about our secret dalliances.
He's like, what?
One question. Do you need your air ducts clean?
I got 3 calls for that yesterday.
Those ducts, are they dirty?
I mean, if they talked like
Dirty
that,
are they?
How dirty are those ducts?
if they talked like that, maybe I might listen to the conversation a little longer. That's not usually.
I
how
always
they-
go, I'm in a condo. Like, I have nothing to do with the ducts.
I'm like, yo, you need a new HVAC system. I'm like, I don't even have a house. Do you do any research before you call everybody? Like,
Yeah.
Have you ever played along with the duct people?
no, I haven't. Have you?
Yes.
Oh,
Do tell.
Oh, well, I start by going, I'm so happy you called. Okay? Some days I feel like playing along with them. I go, I'm so happy you called because I've been noticing a smell from the ducts. And they go, if you play along with them, there is no sale. Like, they never do make a sale. I can't get them to make a sale.
What are they selling?
I don't know what they're after, what customer they're looking for, but no matter how I play them, I've come at them and I said, I've said to them, I live in a very big house, a lot of bedrooms, a lot of bathrooms. The ducts, they need to be cleaned. Okay, I can smell them. I can tell they need to be cleaned. It never leads to a close. And then I've done it another time that I said, I own an apartment complex, big job, big, very profitable job, 100 units, ducts, they need to be cleaned. Never led to a sale. I can't figure out what they're after.
Maybe like
The
their
ne-
social insurance number?
I don't know what they're after, but they're not after cleaning your ducts.
You know what?
they're going to
Maybe
use your voice to make an AI bot. So they're just recording you talking. Maybe you
voice
never know.
mining. Voice mining.
Yeah,
Maybe
like-
they're just lonely souls.
Yeah. Like in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. When he he's got that voicemail, the door.
Yeah,
rings,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
got the reply. That's what I need for the duct people.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that Seinfeld episode where the person calls Jerry and it's like dinner time or something it's like a telemarketer and he's like, oh, no, I'm kind of busy right now, but why don't I call you back at dinner time when
Yes.
you're at home with your family? Oh, no, you don't want me to do that? Well, neither do I, or whatever. Like, that was the worst telling of it.
no,
but
no,
yeah.
that was-
You don't
yeah.
like that?
I know the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything comes back to Seinfeld in the end for me.
Yeah, you've watched every single Seinfeld episode, I'm assuming.
I watched. Yes.
Me too. I know them all too.
Yes, I also have.
Oh,
Yeah,
you have too?
yeah.
Wow. Well, we rarely do
Yeah, no, we
Seinfeld
haven't.
references.
But I've watched. I mean, I've also rewatched on Netflix sometimes, and I'm like, I can't find a damn show. I'm just gonna pick an episode of Seinfeld, and like Sean doesn't really watch it, so like he won't be home, and it's like I put a show on when I'm like cleaning or doing something, and I'm like, I'll just fall
Background
back to
show.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
What?
When I'm cleaning, yeah.
Yeah,
don't know.
background. I call it background shows. Like,
Yeah,
I always need a
background show.
Oh, yeah, I like a good
So
background
I
show.
always do. I do Seinfeld once every like 3 years for background show. The Office, same thing. But I grew up like watching it. With my parents kind of in like on reruns and watching it as an adult. Like there's so many things I didn't understand as a kid. Like the contest. I had no idea what they were talking about when I was
wow.
a kid.
You were in there. You were watching that really early.
Yeah, I was.
You
Yeah,
didn't know
I
what
was
that
young.
about.
No, I was like, this is like original run, and my parents were like, he contest, and I'm like thinking like, oh, what is a contest? Like, okay, that they can like. I knew it had something to do with something growing up, but like, I don't know, lots of weird little things and The Simpsons too. Rewatching really old episodes,
Yeah.
there are like a lot of references I didn't get then. But they took
What other shows have you watched like every episode of?
Oh my god. Well, sorry, yeah, Simpsons, Seinfeld, obviously. I watched a lot of South Park. I can't say every episode now because the last couple of seasons I haven't seen all of them. King of the Hill. Friends, definitely seen all of Friends. I mean,
Actually,
yeah.
I was going to say at their best, they're fantastic. But Elon Musk came out with, he had a comment on Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. And he said, at their best, they're both fantastic. Okay, so I'm trying to work that little phrase into my repertoire.
Yeah.
Right? So I was going to say about South Park. Oh yeah, at its best, it's fantastic.
Yeah, no, that's very good. That's a very good way to put it.
It's a good phrase because even if something is like mostly crappy or silly or whatever it is, at its best,
it is fantastic. It is exemplary, exceptional work. Like it's like South Park is freaking brilliant, but not all the time. But when it is brilliant, it's brilliant. I mean. There are a lot of shows that I've watched all of like way back in the day, like Disney's Doug and Pepper Ann and Recess and stuff like that. I'm trying to think of modern shows.
Did you go through all of Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No, I haven't gone through all of Curb.
Well, that's actually quite nice because you've got a lot of good episodes ahead of you.
This is what I'm told. I keep trying, and then I just get like annoyed with Larry David's wife. I don't know why. Like she like bugs me. She reminds me of someone I know in real life, and she's just like this horse face, like like boring. Like I don't know. But
they do get divorced in the show. Or they
I was gonna start watching from that point.
Yeah, you
from
can
the
start
divorce.
watching. You're talking about Cheryl.
Yeah,
right?
Cheryl. I don't know. She's probably a really nice lady, but like I don't know. And then there's like all the shows, like this dramatic episodics, like HBO's Game of Thrones, like everything.
Oh,
HBO
yeah.
I haven't
has.
watched any of those.
I have also not seen any Game of Thrones ever.
Yeah, I haven't
well,
watched
you
any of
guys are
those.
so lucky.
You
have
know
so
why
much to
though?
look forward to.
Yes, but they're not background shows.
They're
Tough
not background
show.
shows. No, and that's therein lies the
problem
rub
for me now.
You need to have time to watch these shows, and I think the pandemic really gave me a chance to watch a lot of non-background shows, like binged all of Breaking Bad and stuff like that, which I had binged in the past.
Yeah, I watched 6 seasons of Gossip Girl.
During
COVID, I did all of Gossip Girl. I also watched all of a couple shows. I can't remember. I have this memory. You watch a show and then you're like, what? It happens with books too. I'm like,
I feel like that's all of us right now.
Watch, don't say anything.
Yeah. It just goes in and out, and like there are shows that like people be like, "Have you watched this show?" And I'm like, "No, I've never seen it." And then I put it on. I'm like,
yes,
"I've definitely seen this."
Yeah.
Yeah, I also watched. I was sick. I had like when I got my vaccine last year, I watched this airplane show where the airplane crashed, and there was like 4 seasons of it. I binged all of them in like 4 days. No, it wasn't that, but it was like time shifting. Wow. I don't know.
They want to report that as a side effect.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you both seen that show, the Yellow Jackets show?
No.
Oh, I started and then I didn't keep going, but maybe I should. Yeah. Oh, actually, never mind. I did watch it.
Yeah,
I did. We tweeted about this.
Yeah,
it happened.
See, this is what happened.
I did watch it. That was a great show.
There's just too much content these days. There's too much content going around that we can't even remember.
You're home all the time, and I mean, I love watching shows. I mean, my longest running show of my life
Y&R!
Young and the Restless. I have been watching it for, I won't say how many years, but the show's been on for over 50.
Yeah.
Like anytime any of our friends see a Y&R meme or anything, we're like, send it to Casie.
Send it
like,
to me.
She's the Young and the Restless expert.
Yeah, I sometimes if I don't get to watch it in real time, I'll watch it the next day while I'm like working. I like that as my background show because I always know what's happening with the characters.
Shouldn't
like,
say
we're
that to your
family.
boss.
No, it's fine.
I'm joking.
But background shows, it helps me focus.
Yeah, no,
like I
absolutely.
find if I have a background show on that's like I don't have to pay much attention, I find it really helps me focus because otherwise I can get easily distracted by things. I remember seeing a tweet that's like, I'm a really focused person unless there's one sound or noise around me.
Yeah. Seriously though, like,
but if I watch a show, I know I can dedicate it. Like, okay, this is 40 minutes. I'm gonna like work in sprints. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna focus on this, and then I'm gonna get a snack, or then I'm gonna get a coffee. But I know that way it helps me be more productive.
that's why I love deadlines because I'm like, I need to get this story filed in 1 hour. I cannot F around. But I love background shows for that kind of stuff because the silence sometimes is just deafening.
Yeah.
And like having like just, it's like, I used to always say, like when I'd come home from school or whatever, and I'd have to put on after school TV, whether that was reruns of
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, Saved by anything. Because I'm like, it's like family to me. This is like a comforting, soothing, like background noise of like, I feel home.
You can write and listen to a show, can you?
No.
I find writing and listening to speech tricky.
Yes, it is. It's like I tell people it's like doing math when someone's yelling numbers at you. So like I'm trying to do a calculation, be like 13-4. Like, no, I can't actually listen to a show while I'm writing, but I can do other like if I'm working on graphics, if I'm editing.
Yeah, I find if I'm working on
images,
graphics, you can
love
listen.
it.
Yeah,
yeah, and even like when I do have it on. Like, I find a lot of times I kind of tune out what is being said anyways, which is why I can't watch some shows on background because, like, Curb Your Enthusiasm, I've tried a couple times, but I've had it on as background, and I have no idea
you end up having to go back.
It's not a good background show.
No, I don't know what's going on. But with Seinfeld, I've seen so many times that I can completely zone out and still tune out and be like, I know what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, you're right. It's difficult to write when there are words. I think I've kind of had to get used to it over the years, being in newsrooms and stuff like that, because the people are always talking and you're trying to write. Which is why I love.
Do you put the noise canceling on? You're like, I can't.
Yeah.
I tune everything out.
I put
if
them
I have
on
to write
even,
something.
yeah, when I'm not, like, even when they're not on, I just put them on to signal to people, like, don't bug me.
I do that too. I love having like a noise canceling on. Sometimes when there's nothing in the headphones, it just helps me tune out the world so my head can focus.
And everyone else around will come by and be like,
oh, she's working hard.
And if they're going to gently tap you, only in an emergency, I would hope.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
You could put some stickers on your headphones.
Don't bug
Do not
me.
disturb.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
I mean, it's basically a do not disturb sign on its own. Like, that is what the headphones represent to me.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Do you ever report on any TV or what's your lane?
So for Blog TO, we focus predominantly on Toronto. Yeah. So things that are relevant to millennial and Gen Z audiences in Toronto. So I do get to report on television sometimes. Say when Justin Trudeau was on The Simpsons and a local Toronto reporter was The Voice. And I mean, gosh, I write like... At least
also, internet culture. If there's internet things, that's kind of like do that.
Yeah.
Internet culture, Drake.
My beat is more like, I think like internet weirdness. I love like animal stuff, just anything weird and stupid, like that like make people laugh. I like funny. So like we have a story that's doing right really well right now that I wrote yesterday about these 4 people that walked into an IKEA and stole $600 worth of stuff, but like they didn't steal it. They went through the self-checkout and rang in one item that was worth $1.76. And then just walked out with 600. And like the mugshot that the police put out, it's just like it's just these 4 like bumbling kind of like idiot looking people. And well, I'm sorry to them, but so the police are looking for them because it's like it's a crime. You can't just like take a whole bunch of rugs and only pay $1 for them. And that's doing really well for some reason. Like anything that's kind of quirky or weird, or that people think is funny, I like. But I do write a lot of hard news as well. I wrote a lot about the pandemic when that was
popping.
Yeah, the peak panini.
My favorite, like I can never think of specific stories because I write so many. Like sometimes I usually write about 3 or 4 now a day.
That's
There's
crazy.
a time when I was
3 or
writing up
4
to 7
a
day.
Yeah. So it goes by fast, and like you can't really remember at the end of the day. Like I can't even tell you what I wrote about today. Oh my god.
And then will you? You will think, like you are the person who thinks I'm going to write about this. I'm going to write about this, or is it something? I guess there's nobody who tells you to write about anything.
Yeah, no, I'm not assigned anything, but I do like we get a lot of great tips from the audience members, and be like, in my condo building, like this plunger. This is a couple of years ago. This shared plunger in City Place. There was they reinstalled all the toilets in this condo building in City Place to low flow toilets, and they were not working. And so there was one very specific plunger you had to use. It was an industrial plunger. Nobody could buy them, so they all had to go down to the front concierge
and ask for
every time and ask for the plunger, this communal plunger.
Oh.
And so that was something like I got an email from one of the residents, like with the attached email from the condo board, being like, "Here's the plunger." Like she sent me pictures and everything. That story did really well because like ew. So sometimes you get really good like reader tips like that. Other times, I mean, I'm constantly just cruising for news. Yeah. On the ones and twos.
Yeah.
I'm just constantly looking for stuff. So yeah, the one I wrote about this morning was based on a York Regional Police press release, also about kids shooting each other with Orbeez, with pellet guns. Like
those little...
The little, things. So now kids are like, for a TikTok challenge, it's called the Orbeez Challenge, they're putting them inside pellet guns and shooting each other.
Is that why? Because there's been a bunch of kids that have pellet guns at school. Is that why?
I'm not sure if that's why. I think...
I hope not.
They are linking, like police did link it to that. I don't know if for sure you can say it's like causation or correlation, but there have been, in the last week, there have been at least 5 youths charges announced for 5 youths related to pellet guns. And then there was, that school
Yeah.
school shooting
Yeah.
situation last week, and police actually had to take out a 27-year-old man because he was walking around with a pellet gun. They didn't know it was a pellet gun until afterwards,
Yeah.
but he was near schools that were put
Yeah,
on
and
lockdown.
they look like real guns.
They
too.
really
Yeah.
do.
Pellet
These
guns.
airsoft guns. South Park has a good episode about that.
Oh,
Yeah, but I mean, you know,
the
so it's-
airsoft guns, you wouldn't know it's not a real
No,
gun.
I would not know. I have no clue.
they look exactly like the real guns, and I was doing some research today, and even just looking like for pictures of airsoft guns and seeing these stores that people buy them from, like they look like real gun stores. Like you can walk in and they're just like rifles on the wall, like they're pellet
Yeah.
guns, but they look like
Oh,
real
yeah,
rifles.
because at a paintball store,
Yeah.
you can buy airsoft guns.
Exactly, it's
And,
what those look like.
It looks like all restricted guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no 8-year-old should be walking around with a rifle
No.
of any kind. It's weird.
No.
No.
But I mean, that's America. It's their
Yeah.
right
Well,
to
it's
bear arms.
Canada, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is Canada. You're right. I
Yes.
mean, so I do write about those kind of issues sometimes, and some more serious things. But I really like to write about like weird, like another one I always tell people, like example, like I write about raccoon antics a lot. There is a time, like I mean, last year, maybe I think it was last year, where someone caught on video a squirrel brandishing a knife in their backyard. It was awesome. So it was like knife wielding squirrel caught on camera in Toronto backyard, and that did really well. I think that went viral internationally because it just the picture was so funny. So apparently the woman and her husband had been out like at their bonfire, and they had a knife out there cutting up some stuff, and it was this bright bright blue knife,
Yeah.
like from a store or whatever. And the squirrels like shiny things. They like to chew on things. So he liked to chew on the handle. And she looked out, and this squirrel, there's video of it online, is taking this knife, and he's just like chewing on it. And he's like literally turning it around in his hands. He's like, and looking through her window. It was the funniest thing ever. Like that to me is like internet gold.
So walk me through your publishing process. You will create the story in your CMS, which is what CMS?
It's a proprietary CMS.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, so-
And then you will hit publish?
No.
Walk me through that.
So very rarely will I publish my own stuff. I still go
Right,
through
so-
copy editing. So
Okay, so you'll submit it, basically.
yes, I submit it. A copy editor will look it over, or one of my peers for typos. Which, like, sometimes I have long nails on. Like when I get my acrylics done, like. I'm like very adamant that people need to check for extra typos because like the nails are wild, and so right now my
They
typos
write
aren't.
their own stories
Oh my
sometimes.
god! Right now they're okay, but there are times where I'm looking back at my stuff and I'm like, what? Man, I need to take these nails off.
I've been there. I've
nonsensical.
been there. You hit other keys, and then you're like,
Yeah.
Because I remember like a little while ago, I had long nails, and I was like, "Fuck!" We're doing a Google Meet, and Nelson can see I'm driving like a drunk person.
Oh,
True.
yeah.
Sometimes Casie between her mouse. Okay, Casie uses a mouse like
Yeah.
okay.
I'm aggressive.
and then she's typing. Sometimes I turn and I go, Casie, like slow, just take it easy.
But you don't know the pain of the nails. Like, okay, I'm looking at this water bottle, natural spring water. With nails, it would sometimes become natural spray from what, like, you know what I mean? It's just extra letters. I get all the letters in there. It's just so many extra ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would. I always pitch stories too. So like, just to get feedback from my team, I don't need approval to write stories. So sometimes I'll just write them if nobody's around to be cool. But I always ask my team, what do you guys think of this? And they're like, yeah, that's cool. And I'm like, cool. And then I do it. And then I'm like, who can copy edit this? And then they publish it. And that's essentially the process. But it wasn't always like that. Like when I was earlier in my career, it was I would be assigned stories, or I would have to pitch stories, get them approved by an editor, and then submit them.
And then when you say something went viral, how are you tracking that on your end?
Well, we are very into analytics. So, Google Analytics, we use something called Chartbeat as well to track real-time traffic. When I say something goes viral, that's abnormally millions of clicks as opposed to hundreds of thousands. And that's without getting into any granular data that could be, get me in trouble for talking about exorbitant, and not just necessarily on our site, but when other news outlets start picking it up internationally. So when something goes, when I think something truly goes viral, it's oh wow, this hit Mashable, BuzzFeed, and then it's wow, it hit the Daily Mail, it hit the Times of India. Okay, everyone is talking about this. I think a good example of that was like in real life viral was when Rob Ford, mayor of
yeah.
Toronto, went the crack smoking thing.
I remember that one.
Yeah,
Who
like,
can
and
forget?
he was on the front page of newspapers in Germany, and I remember like 6 months after that, I was traveling around in Europe, and people were like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I was like, Canada. I said Windsor. I'm like I was living in Windsor. No, was I? No, I was living in Toronto. But I was in Canada, and even without saying Toronto, they're like, "Oh, Rob Ford." Like everyone, Rob Ford. Like people in China knew who Rob Ford was. So like, it's it can be measured a lot of different ways, but the way I measure it is just like, this blew the frick up. If you can talk to somebody in China who recognizes this thing and knows what that is, then that's viral.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And you have
big
locally
time.
viral. Like, there are some things that blow up in the city or blow up Canada-wide. I wouldn't necessarily say they're viral so much as, like, popular.
Trending.
Trending, yes.
Trending.
Trending.
Yeah.
So right now is the newsroom monitoring this election today.
Of course.
So
yes.
they're down there, they're watching.
Yeah.
And, do you have stories prepared based on outcomes already, ready to
Yes.
go?
Yep. I think everyone does. So
Interesting,
it's just good practice to kind of pre-prepare stories that you can kind of go right away, plug in the information. So it's the same as like, a lot of big sports games, when the Maple Leafs the other week, I don't really follow like hockey. I don't like it.
Yay,
but,
sports.
Yay sports. But like one of my writers does, and he like, prepared a document that like, if the Leafs win this thing, it'll be the first time they've won a playoff round since like 1 million years ago or something.
Yeah.
And so we had like 2 versions of that story ready to go, or, a lot of things like that. When there's something that could go one way or the other, different votes that are coming from city council. Like I had one a couple weeks ago when they voted against allowing drinking in public parks. I had, I had a story and I just put
Rude.
Yeah, if you
you can get like a $500 fine.
seriously.
No, I know. That was one thing when we were in Paris. I started to realize, I can actually drink out and about here.
Yeah,
And
like
then I realized
all
you
over
could just
Europe.
buy a little bottle and drink it and not have to buy drinks at every restaurant.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but I can see how actually buying drinks and wandering around with them would hurt the restaurants.
But this wasn't even like
Because I wasn't buying anything at a restaurant.
Yeah.
what they were proposing in Toronto was just public parks and beaches. So you wouldn't be able to walk down the sidewalk, but you'd be able to legally drink at Bellwoods, which everyone
does.
Yeah.
If you go to Bellwoods on a nice day, like everyone is sitting, and it's pretty like calm and civilized.
yeah.
I
Like
don't enforce it.
I love drinking in the park.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Don't arrest me.
Yeah, but like I think
It's kombucha.
it's just kombucha. Kombucha kind of smells like beer.
Yeah.
So, but they don't enforce it so much. But it's just the fact that like they couldn't even budge to be like, we're going to allow drinking in parks, like so many other major cities and countries in the world. And so for that story, I had a
smoke
pre-written.
weed.
Yeah, you can smoke weed. But I had a story for that written where it had XX and TK. Wherever something was like, City of Toronto unanimously voted or the City of Toronto voted against or for, so you leave out certain words.
Right.
Yeah.
You put XX or TK. And so if you ever see, like, you'll see newspapers, especially online, you'll see, like, things published sometimes. So it'll be like, someone wins vote by XX, like, percent. And you're like, oh, they didn't update the copy there. And there's a lot of, I don't know if you are familiar with this little fun news industry tidbit, but there's obituaries prepared for everyone. Every famous person you could think of has an obituary in the back end. And it's like, these are like wire service obituaries too. So it's not like every news outlet has to write them themselves, but they can get it from like Reuters or CP.
Yeah, sure they got
Because your obit is written while you're alive, right?
Queen has been written sinse I
forever.
started. Like
Since she was born.
Yeah.
That's when it started. I mean, seriously, I'm not joking. Because they'd have to have it in case like anything ever happened.
Want to go? And then
I wonder what mine will say.
Here lies Casie. No, that's a gravestone, not a obituary. Sorry. Casie Stewart. Why do I want to say like Patrick Stewart?
No, it's okay. We don't need to get it. I'm not going to need it for a while.
You won't need it for a very long time.
Yeah, the blogger who was the original heart shaved into the head.
Inspiration for Canadian rapper Drake's 2021 hairdo.
I'm going to die now.
No. Yeah. You'll be around forever.
Yeah, at least not until after the wedding.
Yeah. No.
Oh my God, so
When
funny.
is the wedding again?
September 10th.
Yeah.
No, Casie is going to outlive us all.
Yeah.
I swear.
I hope so. Oh man, so funny.
Any travel this summer?
I'm going to, a couple of things. I am going to visit my parents in Chatham, Ontario. Woo!
You were just in Nashville, though.
I was in Nashville. Yeah, that was great. And I'm going to Malibu, California in August for a wedding.
That's fun.
Yeah, I might be going to Anaheim, California also. When I said it's where Disneyland
California.
is.
We went.
Yeah, we went.
We actually went to Disney together.
On a press trip.
And Sean came and our friend Sarah, and they were trying to encourage adults without kids to go to Disneyland, and there's bars there.
Oh, yeah.
You can drink, and we did. And we met Donald Duck, and it was fun.
I bet you had a fun time.
We had a hoot.
Yeah.
We had a great time. And it was cool. Like, it was sponsored the trip by Disney and the Orange County Board of Tourism. So they took us, like, shopping and, like, all this. Yeah, it was really, really nice.
Fun. We rented a convertible so we could, like, cruise around top down, and it was fun.
Down. Yeah. And Sarah and I went to Venice Beach, I think, and then Casie and Sean rolled up in the convertible and got us, and it was really fun. I really like LA. Anaheim's like Anaheim. Like, it's
not as exciting, but
I'm like, whatever.
It's still California, man.
Still California, and like I like Disneyland. So Brock and I will maybe go. He has to go for a conference, and sometimes I'm like, I'm just gonna work from hotel and tag along with you, and.
Perfect.
Yeah, have a weekend at Disneyland because, like, it is really, actually, really fun.
It's super fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to see you and hang out and laugh together.
And I wish you the best on the rest of your wedding planning.
Thank you.
And your summer.
Thank you so much.
And it's been wonderful.
It's been wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for the chat.
Thank you.
You guys rock.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode with Lauren. You can follow her on Twitter at Lauren Online, and you can follow blogto.com in our new mobile browser, Hover.
You can check out more episodes of Cast of Creators on YouTube, your favorite podcast platform, or castofcreators.com.